Hi all, it's JK here with another video. This tips and tricks video is concerning cleaning. I've seen a few people ask the question before they buy a new car, what should I buy, how should I clean it, and so on. Now the first tip is, regarding the winter, is assuming the car is winter prepped, obviously, and I'll go over that in a second, is don't bother really maintenance cleaning the car. All I've done is, for the first time all winter, is I've jet washed the car off. As you can see, I've not bothered maintenance cleaning it, but I've done underneath the arches, the wheel arches, and I've jet washed the wheels off slightly. So as you can see there, now they're not immaculately clean. Now I'm not too bold about that because they're sealed, and the seal should protect the wheels from very good sealant as well. Poor boys, highly recommended in the detailing world. So that should protect the wheels. So all I've done is I keep the windows clean, obviously. I keep the side mirrors clean, obviously, and the license plates clean to keep the 50 happy. Keep your lights clean as well. That goes without saying. So that's the first tip. Don't bother flogging yourself with a maintenance clean. And you won't be the only one. The village where I live, there's cars far more expensive than this. There's even an SVR flying around. I've seen SVRs, Macans, Q7s, the BMW X6, and they've all got the same thing in common. They're white for a start. They've got blacked out windows and they've got black wheels. So obviously all the rich people are into that thing at the minute. But they're all filthy. They're literally brown here, brown, then it gets whiter as you get to the top. So, and I saw one car the other day, an Audi RS6. You couldn't even see the license plate. It was completely black, and you know you're going to get pulled over for that. Not sure if they fine you for it, but it's certainly not legal to do that. So yeah, do as everyone else does basically. Don't bother maintenance cleaning during the winter. You're flogging a dead horse basically. Just keep on top of keeping the arches clean when you can. The second tip here is obviously when the weather starts picking up and when the gritters have stopped doing their job, i.e. the roads aren't going to be treated anymore, as soon as you know the salt's off the road, majority of the salt, is then give it a proper thorough maintenance clean, and then obviously a prep. Now what I mean by prep is, I mean clay bar. You might not need clay bar actually, just go by how it goes on the first clean, but probably a polish and over a wax. Then what you should do really is what I'm going to do is take each wheel off and detail each corner of the car and each wheel, and make sure all the arches are thoroughly clean and all the wheels are resealed, ready for the summer. Another tip I'll give you is, if you're going to take delivery of a new car soon, or if you're going to take your car in for a service, don't let the dealer clean and prepare the car. You're better off getting your own detailer to do it. When I first took delivery of this car, at a certain angle in the sunlight, you could see a hell of a lot of swirls. My friend spotted it. It was irritating. So I then spent 8 hours polishing it, and my dad was like, "Why are you doing that? It's a brand new car." And I said, "Because it's got loads of swirl marks on it." He didn't know what I was talking about because he couldn't see it. But yeah, so don't let the dealer clean the car, do it yourself. And the same for the service as well. I think when you do a service, they do a washing and back. My service is due in 80 days, and I'm going to say, yeah, I don't want that, I'll clean it myself, and they should leave it. So yeah, that's the other tip for you. What I'll do now is I'll go to my garage and I'll show you what I've actually got and how I actually clean the car. Right, so here's everything I've got to clean and maintain my car, and I'm going to go over that shortly. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video that I did a winter prep on my car. What that basically means is you do a maintenance clean, and then you do a 3-stage protection process, treatment process. The first stage is to remove contaminants from the car, such as road tar and real tough stains that can't come out with a maintenance clean. Then the second stage is to reapply protective layer, because doing that removes protective layer and it basically gets the bare paint out. And then thirdly, you finish off with another protective layer using wax, and you can apply 2 or 3 layers if you wish. So getting back to what you should buy and why and all that jazz. So here we got a mini jet wash. It's a Karcher K2, very happy with it. 1.14 kilowatts I think, off the top of my head, or 1.4, can't quite remember. £89, came with a floor cleaning kit as well. Bought it from Morrison's, £89. It was a one-off thing, that they were really cheap. Since they've sold out, and now you can buy it from Alfred's for 120 quid. Now I bought Karcher because we've got a 10-year-old one in the garage, never failed us, so I know reliability is good. It's entirely up to you what brand you want to buy. I'm not recommending Karcher per se, it's just entirely up to you. As part of that kit, I bought a snow foam cannon, and I bought a this highly recommended snow foam auto foam cleaning shampoo. But I've since read that a lot of people say they see no benefit in using snow foams. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to buy that or not. I'm going to have a go at mine now I've spent all that money on it, because I think that was 30 quid I think, and that was 15 quid. But yeah, I'd skip that if I were you, not really needed. A good maintenance clean, and then this lot here will cover you. Now, as for what do I use for my wheels, I've got the Valet Pro wheel brush, long reach. I've got a muck off short reach wheel brush, which is for the outside of the wheels. And I've got a detailing brush, which we use for the nuts and whatnot, but it can also be used for the engine bay. I've got this brush which came with the VW Golf R DSG kit, but it's starting to rust there, as you can see, so that's not very encouraging. Then I've got 2 buckets. People are saying you could use 4 buckets, 2 for the wheels and 2 for the body, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 2 new buckets. I've got 2 mitts. I've got this, which is a microfiber mitt I use for underneath the car and underneath the arches. And I've got a lamb's wool mitt in the garage somewhere, which I use for obviously the top of the car. I use microfiber cloths for the glass and the lights. And I use a giant magnet towel to dry the car when I'm done. This is a Maguire's white. I can't remember what it cost me, but it was expensive. Now getting to my actual maintenance cleaning kit, what I use is I use a wash and wax, which came with my Guard X. I use bird dropping remover, which came with the Guard X, and I use glass guard, which came with the Guard X. I also use this alloy wheel cleaner, which is very good, seems to do a very good job. So that covers your maintenance clean. Obviously you need 2 buckets as well, one with soapy water and one with clean water. That's one of my buckets, the other bucket's in the garage somewhere. The next thing is going over the 3-step process. So I've got auto glim tar remover, which works really well. Used that on my Land Cruiser, got some really nasty stains out on that. The clay bar rapid detailer smells amazing, really recommend that. It's really enjoyable to use that for some reason, probably because it smells so good. And then there's the ultimate polish pre-wax glaze, which is what I mentioned earlier. So that's steps 1 and 2 covered, and then step 3 you've got your Harley wax. Highly recommend that. Smells so good you could eat it. It makes me hungry anyway when I use it. And yeah, that's your stage 3. You can apply that, as I say, more than once. Some people do 3 times. Back to stage 2 again, you can also use this stuff here, super resin polish. Very highly recommended by people. I've not used it yet because I was happy with the results of the Maguire's, so it's entirely up to you whether you do that or not. And then when it comes to the wheels, it's exactly the same process. You do a jet wash off with the wheels, you then do a shampoo. Well, you do the alloy oil cleaner first after the jet wash, then you brush the wheels off using the brushes I showed earlier. Then you jet wash it off again after leaving the alloy wheel cleaner on for a few minutes. Then you shampoo it using a microfiber cloth or mitt. Then you jet wash it off again. Then you can clay bar the wheel as well, which I've started doing. I'll do that as part, you don't do that as part of the maintenance clean, but this is a detail. You can clay bar it as well. Then you can apply a layer of that super resin polish I showed you a second ago. And then finally you apply the very highly recommended Poor Boys wheel sealant. So yeah, that gives ultimate protection. Now, with that process in mind, you're supposed to do it 1 wheel at a time, so don't go over all 4 wheels and cover them all in alloy wheel cleaner. Do it 1 wheel at a time, and then once the wheel is done and dry, you then move on to the next wheel. Obviously, the application of the polish and the wheel sealant is only necessary during a winter prep, or, well, a pre-winter or post-winter prep. Twice a year, basically. Otherwise, you just do a maintenance clean. And then when it comes to the exhaust tips, you use Autosol. It cleans them off nicely, polishes them off nicely, gives a nice protective, smooth feel. Highly recommended. This stuff's years old. Look at it. You can tell it's probably older than me, and yet it still works perfectly. If you saw my video a few weeks ago, you saw that I used it and it made the car exhaust look brand new again when it was covered in black soot. So yeah, that is everything you need to maintain your car. Now, I've never cleaned the interior of my car, so I can't comment on what interior products to use. So if those of you with experience of cleaning the interior of your car could help there, leave your comments and advise people what to use for interior cleaning, what vacuums you recommend, what interior glass cleaning product you use, how do you clean your seats and the dashboard and all that jazz. And yeah, that would be really, really useful. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful, and that concludes this week's tips and tricks. Cheers. Another thing I should add is, what I haven't done yet either is clean my tyres. So if you could advise or recommend in the comments products you use for cleaning your tyres and brushes that you use, that'd be interesting as well. So yeah, cheers.